Today, MBS wants a nuclear weapon. But he says what he wants is a nuclear cooperation agreement. Well, we have a nuclear cooperation agreement with the United Arab Emirates and Turkey and Morocco that all provide for a gold standard of safety. Can you assure us that you will not enter into a nuclear cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia that does not have that same gold standard of security to make sure they're not building a nuclear weapon?
Well, first, I will tell you that there has been no conversation about entering into one. For example, during the recent trip.
And can you? I've got limited time.
I can't. So here's the thing. I can
Sir,
tell you.
Either give me a yes, give me a no.
Well, I'm going to give you my answer if you want my answer.
I want a yes
or a
no.
game show.
Reclaiming my time.
Well, reclaim your time, but it's not a game show. I get to answer. These are complex questions. Let me answer.
Mr. Secretary, I'm reclaiming my time. The filibustering takes place in the Senate, not here.
I'm not filibustering. I'm trying to answer your question.
You're trying. Let's go on to the next question. With regard to Iran, can you assure us that you will continue sanctions on Iran until they verifiably agree to abandon all enrichment? That's a yes or no question.
No,
hello, Patriots. Welcome back to Conservative Mandate, the channel where we stand firm in defending America's core values and exposing the shady deals and weak leadership threatening our great nation. Today, we're diving into an explosive House hearing that reveals just how far the left and their allies are willing to go to undermine our freedoms and sell out America. Stay tuned, because we're talking about power grabs, corruption, and how you can fight back against the decay of our principles. Before we begin, if you love this country and believe in protecting our values, hit that subscribe button right now. Give this video a like, share it with your fellow patriots, and drop a comment below to let us know what you think. Stick around until the end, because we've got critical insights you won't want to miss. Now let's break this down. Representative Brad Sherman went on the attack in a House hearing, leveling accusations against Senator Marco Rubio and the State Department. But here's the kicker. This wasn't about productive dialogue or solutions. It was a blatant power play by the left to push their agenda and silence conservative voices. Sherman accused Rubio of filibustering. But Patriots, let's be clear, Rubio was dodging traps laid by a representative who wanted sound bites, not answers. Sherman.
We all miss Jerry Conley, and I do not think that he would want us to be passive in our questioning here today. Mr. Chairman, it's our job to oversee the State Department. You can't do that by having think tank witnesses come before us. Our job isn't to oversee the think tanks. In 2023, we had 44 government witnesses. This year, we have our first. And I hope very much that we have all not only the secretary, but the undersecretaries and assistant secretaries so that we can really do our job. Secretary Rubio, in the 1970s, there was a powerful Middle East monarch who claimed to be a friend of the United States, may very well have been, claimed to be at least agreeable to Israel. And so in the 1970s, we transferred enormous sophisticated weapons to him. In 1979, the Shah was deposed and all those weapons were in the hands of the Ayatollah. Today, MBS wants a nuclear weapon. But he says what he wants is a nuclear cooperation agreement. Well, we have a nuclear cooperation agreement with the United Arab Emirates and Turkey and Morocco that all provide for a gold standard of safety. Can you assure us that you will not enter into a nuclear cooperation agreement with Saudi Arabia that does not have that same gold standard of security to make sure they're not building a nuclear weapon?
Well, first, I will tell you that there has been no conversation about entering into one. For example, during the recent trip.
And can you? I've got limited time.
I can't. So here's the thing. I can
Sir,
tell you.
Either give me a yes, give me a no.
Well, I'm going to give you my answer if you want my answer.
I want a yes
this is not
or
a
no.
game show.
Reclaiming my time.
Well, reclaim your time, but it's not a game show. I get to answer. These are complex questions. Let me answer.
Mr. Secretary, I'm reclaiming my time. The filibustering takes place in the Senate, not here.
I'm not filibustering. I'm trying to answer your question.
You're trying. Let's go on to the next question. With regard to Iran, can you assure us that you will continue sanctions on Iran until they verifiably agree to abandon all enrichment? That's a yes or no question.
No, it's not.
Well, can you give me a yes or no, or should I go on to the next question?
We believe that Iran should not be allowed to enrich uranium, correct?
You believe that it should, yeah, I
No, we believe that an acceptable deal with Iran is one in which they cannot enrich, because if they can enrich, they can weaponize.
I know why we don't want, I asked you, will we continue the sanctions until they verifiably agree to get rid of the
Oh, you have no
enrichments?
worry about us. The worry was the previous administration. This administration has
Your
been
refusal to give me an answer is loud and clear.
No, well, I'd like
Is
to answer your
reclaiming my time. Mr. Chair, you told us about all these wonderful business deals that were announced in the Middle East. It's reminiscent of the first year of the first term of Donald Trump, where he announced a $10 billion investment by Foxconn in Wisconsin. It is still an empty field. I am sure that the only deals announced in the Middle East that will actually happen were the bribery deals, the $400 million plane and the $2 billion Abu Dhabi will put into the cryptocurrency sponsored by Mr. Trump. TikTok. Mr. Secretary, you led the effort to say that it shouldn't be controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. We passed a law with your help. That law requires that we ban TikTok now because all of the expiration dates have expired. But instead, we saw Chinese interests affiliated with TikTok transfer $300 million into the Trump coin, which is a pure gift. It's $300 million for nothing but monopoly money. And so there's a word in Mandarin for this. It's called bribery. And it raises the question that I'll ask you to respond to for the record, and that is there any statute this administration will not violate for a $300 million Chinese bribe? We next focus on on USAID. Musk gutted it. He said no one died as a result. Do you agree that no one has died yet as a result of the chainsawing of USAID? Yes or no?
I'm sorry, the question is, has anyone what?
Has anyone in the world died because of what Elon Musk did?
Listen.
Yes or no, reclaiming my time. If you won't answer, that's a loud answer.
No one has died because of USAID.
The people who have died
That's
as a
lie.
result of cutting off the oxygen of a woman in Burma and denying HIV/AIDS treatment to those in Africa. They are dead now at the hands of Elon Musk
False.
and his co-conspirators.
Chair
I
now
yield back.
recognizes Representative.
Sherman had the audacity to question Rubio about nuclear cooperation with Saudi Arabia, implying that the U.S. might hand over nuclear capabilities without safeguards. Rubio pushed back, emphasizing the complexity of the issue, but Sherman wasn't interested in hearing about nuance or national security. Instead, he cut Rubio off repeatedly, reclaiming his time and turning the hearing into a circus. Then Sherman demanded a yes or no answer on Iran's sanctions, ignoring the fact that these are complex international policies that can't be boiled down to a soundbite. Let's not forget patriots. Iran is a rogue state that hates everything America stands for. Rubio rightly refused to give in to Sherman's oversimplified narrative. But it gets worse. Sherman went on a tirade about business deals in the Middle East, comparing them to failed liberal pet projects like Foxconn in Wisconsin. And here's the irony. Sherman is the one who supports a bloated government that wastes taxpayer dollars on failed promises, while conservatives fight for real, results-driven policies. Sherman also accused the Trump administration of accepting a so-called $300 million bribe tied to TikTok and Chinese cryptocurrency. This baseless accusation is nothing more than a smear campaign against President Trump and his America First policies. Sherman threw around Chinese terms to sound clever, but it was just political theater designed to distract from the left's failures. And let's talk about Sherman's attack on USAID and Elon Musk. He blamed cuts to USAID for deaths in Burma and Africa, calling it a conspiracy. Patriots, this is the same party that screams about climate change while ignoring the real crises caused by their reckless spending and globalist agenda. This hearing wasn't about oversight or accountability. It was a platform for the left to grandstand and undermine conservative policies. But we won't let them hijack the narrative. We stand for America First policies that prioritize our safety, our sovereignty, and our freedom. So what can you do? Share this video to expose the lies and deceit. Subscribe to Conservative Mandate to stay informed and join our fight. Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and let's keep this conversation going. We need every patriot to stand up and say, enough is enough. Together, we can restore America's greatness. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.